You're listening to the Get Out and Drive podcast, fueled by AMD, with your hosts, John, Custom Car Nerd Meyer, and Jason, Old Car Guy Carr. We'll be bringing you gearheads everything you never wanted to know about cars and why they should be on the road and not in your garage. Are you ready to get out and drive?
Folks, welcome back. John and I have been invited by AMD back to Atlanta for C10s in the City 2025 on Saturday, May the 3rd. And we have Rick and Sarah, who are kind of the brainstorm behind C10s in the City. Rick, Sarah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time out. I know you guys have got a busy schedule, so we appreciate that. Tell us how C10s in the City became a thing.
We were noticing that we were seeing a lot of C10s around the city that we had not been seeing at other shows. So we thought that it would be cool if we did like a cruise in, where we had our first pop-up at Argosy, which is like a restaurant pub in East Atlanta, July of 2021. And we had how many?
60 to 70 trucks, which we thought was great. For us, it was a first time event. So we're like, all right, this is cool. We can do this a few times a year. I think we were on record saying that
on
one of the UBT videos.
4.
Yeah.
So we immediately outgrew that venue, scheduled the next one for April of 22. We had maybe 200 trucks there.
Something like that.
At this point, we were like setting up a whole show with vendors.
But, with all that, like, now the show becomes expensive, to run versus what it was when we first started doing it. So with people like AMD and CK Truck Magazine coming on board has been a huge, huge help to get what we needed to make the show be a success.
Yeah, CanCut too.
Yeah,
they stepped in this year and they've been awesome.
So we always got United by Trucks there. So he's always been very helpful in everything that we need.
I had breast cancer in 2020. The truck community was so supportive of me and of Rick the whole time we were going through it, that when we started doing our own event, we really wanted to be giving back. So we chose to support the Pink Fund, which is an organization that provides financial help to women with breast cancer. And that has been the recipient of our donations and raffle fundraising ever since 2022. So for the last 5 or 6 shows.
It's a great cause.
It is.
Yeah, it's something that's close to us, with everything she went through. So we've always wanted to do that, and it's kind of working out pretty well so far. Each year it's been a little bit more we've been able to give back. We try to do as much as we can. So we didn't think it was going to be what it is, honestly.
It takes a village. Yeah, there's a lot of people helping us out now.
Yeah, we had no idea. We just thought it was going to be like a cruising thing to hang out, and then it's kind of blossomed into what it is now, which is a lot of fun. It's great. It's just a lot more work.
It's hundreds of hours of work. Yeah.
Remember when you used to go to swap meets and scour parts bins looking for that one elusive original part you had to take home to clean and repair? You just made more work for yourself.
It's true. I'm not a trained body man or metal fabricator, and neither is the majority of our enthusiasts that are working on their own projects at home in their garage. For me, finding high-quality replacement body panels, rust repair parts, trim, and weather stripping is key to making sure my project is ready to get out and drive.
AMD is the place to find restoration parts, including trim, glass, and weather stripping. When you are restoring iconic vehicles like the Squarebody and OBS GM trucks, Mopar muscle cars, and Ford dent-side pickups, think of AMD. Whether you're a seasoned restorer
or a hobbyist tackling your first restoration, look no further than AMD. Visit autometaldirect.com and explore the AMD Garage for helpful restoration tips, insider stories, and more. Be sure to use the code GOND when you place your order for a 10% discount exclusively for our listeners for a limited time. AMD, more than metal.
It's hundreds of hours of work.
Last time that we were there, it was a great community. It doesn't matter if you go there for the first time.
Yeah.
We were certainly welcomed as if we had been going there since the beginning.
Yeah, it's great to watch you guys on the way down. Kind of followed you guys on the way down on Instagram and whatnot. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. So we'll be there again to beat on you a little bit while we're there.
Yeah.
having this show brings in a lot of people from all over. And one of the things that I remember being there was the different clubs per se that take part, not just, random people. There's C10 Georgia. Kyle Fannin comes down from Maryland. There's guys that come from the Gulf Coast. I met him. He had this nice truck. I think he called it Krusty.
Yeah, that's Shannon McDonald, big sponsor as of last year and this year for us, Storage Pro, which is very cool to have. He sponsors our big giant tent that we use for shade and the raffle and everything.
Yeah, we call it the Storage Pro backyard.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that that helps bring that community together, that, it's not just from Atlanta. Of course, I traveled all the way from Canada.
Right.
I didn't do that for anything other than I've been trying to get down to an event with you guys since pre-COVID. And then in that summer or that spring when that hit, that kind of put the kibosh to that for a few years. And luckily enough, in 23, we were able to get down.
Yeah.
You each have your own C10 truck. And one of those trucks is actually very special because it was built with the Pink Fund kind of as the build's purpose. Is that right?
It was just something we wanted to do, to have her own truck and then let everybody know about all the people that helped us with the show and with the truck for that matter, And
he got me these super cool billet badges that have the pink breast cancer ribbon on them. It's very neat.
I remember that.
We had those, I think, we just got in the truck and I had those. And the truck sat for a little while. We had to get some things together, but
the truck is basically made out of AMD parts.
Yeah.
It's like a 2023 C10.
Yeah. Cato did the interior. He did the seat and stuff in it. So there's some people involved there.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit Steel Wheels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Emma's always been great. She's actually coming this year again.
Good.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. That's good. And it's good to see that, like you said before, that community and that village, because if it wasn't for the people who attend, obviously there wouldn't be a show. And there's so much variety in the type of people. There's young, there's old, in between, guys and gals who become a part of this to join what it is you guys are doing and doing it for a good cause. We already talked about AMD, and some of those guys. Tell us some of the sponsors and maybe some of the vendors who are going to be a part of the show this year.
Yeah, I mean, so sponsorship, obviously we got AMD and we got CK Truck Magazine, we got Can Cut, they make all those the baddest drill bits and cutting tools. We got Storage Pro Backyard now, Storage Pro
New creations.
Oh yeah, Jason Mode. And like vendors, we got Slosh Tubs again. Corsair Wheels coming this time. United by Trucks and Yabody Garage will be there. The YouTube guys along with you guys doing what you guys do. Yeah, we got Haas Designs, Sneaky Sand Show guys. They make some really rad stuff.
The Gizia Motors.
Yep. Easy Motors, he sells a lot of high-end parts in wheels as well.
We're missing a lot of people.
Yeah, there's so many.
We don't have our list,
Yeah.
but
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but even just what you've mentioned there, there's a lot of great names, a lot of recognizable names for those who are in the industry.
Yeah, we're super happy with all the people that come on board. Our show's a little different. We don't do the trophies and stuff. It's kind of not our thing. I've always felt like trophies can kind of divide some people at a show. I feel like if you don't have trophies, then everybody feels welcome. And that's kind of what we want. We want everybody to be welcome, everybody to show up. So far, it's been great.
I know when we were down there the last time that you were changing that next year to 24 to a new venue, and I haven't seen your new venue. So kind of talk us through people that haven't been there.
Where we had the spectator lot is now going to be where the show is because it's a much bigger lot.
Okay.
We kind of outgrew that lot when you guys were there.
Right under the Olympic rings and the torch. It's still like a super cool backdrop.
There's a whole thing about the torch in the neighborhood. And the neighborhood wants to keep it, and the people that own the torch want to move it to like downtown Atlanta where Centennial Park is. And so there's a big fight going on with that, which
I don't think it's a fight. I think that the people realize that the Summer Hill community is not going to let their history go very easily.
Yeah, that's probably true. It looked like a really great area down there. A lot of history.
Yeah, they got there's a lot of great restaurants down there now. Like then when the Braves were there, it kind of like they were around that stadium like typical areas around big stadiums. But now since Georgia State kind of took over that stadium, they're putting a bunch of restaurants and bars and stuff like that right up the street, which we have the shuttle that takes people there back and forth, which is pretty cool.
Atlanta's kind of a foodie town, so we are definitely supporting the local restaurants. We don't have food vendors at the show. We will have Gearhead Coffee there to, serve up some brews in the morning. But food is 2 blocks away, and we'll have a shuttle for anyone that doesn't want to walk. But there's like 10 restaurants. There's brewery. It's one of it's one of Atlanta's oldest neighborhoods, but this is one of the most up and coming neighborhoods now with kind of this revitalization of the area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if there's anybody that's listening to this that's going to hear it and they're on the fence about going down, I would definitely. This is of all the shows in the country of upcoming. I think this one is fabulous because of the people that host the show, the surrounding venue, ability to they provide a shuttle to go down to get food. Go to another show that tells you they're going to have a shuttle to go get food.
Right.
Rick and Sarah are great, so I think it's going to be awesome this year, and I certainly can't wait.
We appreciate you guys coming.
Too. Yeah.
We got a little thing that if you guys make it down early enough, we got our thing on Friday night too that we do at a local brewery in town there, right in Decatur, which is right where you guys stayed last time.
Let's talk a little bit about that because if you guys aren't familiar, C10s in the City has their very own website, and that website is full of information on things, where to eat, where to stay, where the pre-party is, where the after. I don't know if you say where the after party is or not.
We have an unofficial after party.
Unofficial.
Very unofficial.
Yeah, but if you are coming, and I know some people, including myself, who had never been to Atlanta. I was unsure. I was uneasy about parking my truck in an unknown area. But the website details the safe places that, good neighborhoods and good people. They can't guarantee anything. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's a good neighborhood, and we had a fun time. We stayed at a pretty sketchy spot, but it was all good.
Oh, you said that Super 8.
Yeah, they said it's Super 8.
Great.
Try one of the Verbos.
I sent you that too. Yeah.
I give it half a star.
Half a star. But the whole idea was that we stayed there, and we did go to a little after party on Saturday night. And it was within walking distance from where we were staying. So, we didn't have to drive anywhere. We'll be down there. My plan is, so John's going to be driving from St. Louis. I'm driving from Canada. And my son's coming this year with me.
Okay,
so
cool.
We plan on doing that in a 2-day run. And that way we'll be there for Friday. AMD has been kind enough to invite us to a tour. So we'll be going to AMD up in Gainesville, doing a little tour there.
Crazy.
It's so big, dude. That warehouse is gigantic. And they're building another one.
What's that?
And they're building another one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. So we're just pretty excited to be able to do this. How many other people take a week off to drive 1,500 miles to a one-day car show event?
Right.
And still want to come back and do it again. I had a blast, and I really do appreciate it. The opportunity to come down and see you guys and meet everybody once again. Jump in and join the Get Out and Drive podcast, What Drives Youth Initiative, by supporting these organizations that support the next generation in the automotive industry.
Operative Talent is committed to inspiring and empowering the next generation of automotive professionals. Learn more at operativetalent.com.
The RPM Foundation safeguards the critical skills necessary to restore and preserve collector vehicles by supporting hands-on training and engaging the next generation of craftsmen and women. Learn more at rpm.foundation. Tell me a little bit about your new vehicle, Rick. I know that all the UBT community knows all about it.
Right.
But if you're not aware, Rick has joined a certain family. Tell us a little bit about this new purchase.
What's up, buddy? Called the long roof. He calls it buddy.
Brother.
Long roof brotherhood.
Brotherhood.
Yeah. One of my buddies down in Miami, he's got a Suburban. So we bought a '79 GMC Suburban recently, and it's got all the right patina for me. We like them. We're not into the big shiny stuff. I want to be able to drive it anywhere and not worry about it. Yeah. So, but we did get it to for a purpose to haul the merch because our Squarebody brand is growing a little bit, so we have more stuff to carry around, and that'll be perfect for that.
And I'm sure you can see the top of our dog's head, but we want him to come too.
Yeah.
So.
So with this bourbon, we should be able to do all that stuff. So we got some plans for it. It's going to take a little time, but we're still getting the shop ready. So we purchased a shop not too long ago here at the house that we had built. So we're working on that still.
Setbacks with that.
Yeah.
Branch coming through the roof after we have it for like a month.
Yeah, we had one of those things.
Home ownership. What can you do?
So you've joined the Long Roof Brotherhood. That's a little bit mouthful to say. And as you can see, my new ride sitting behind me here, that's what we'll be driving down for this show. Let's take a second to talk about SQRBDY because that was a brand, that was a thing before C10s in the city kind of became a thing.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and try and promote that to those who might not know what it is.
Yeah, and to be honest, it kind of started as an Instagram name that I had, and I've always liked square bodies. I've always been into square bodies, and I'm like, some of the stuff that was out there for merch wise, it just wasn't my favorite kind of thing. I'm like, I think we could do some stuff a little different, that I like that other people seem to like now. Like it took us a little while to get going, but you got one of those really first shirts that we did, that green one. Yeah. But yeah, it's evolving into a thing. We're trying to grow it a little bit. We had a little bit of setback. We had some stuff locked up. We were going to be able to do some interior part stuff, and that kind of got sidetracked a little bit. So I'm working on some other stuff with that. But we do have some plans to do more things other than just merch. It's just gonna take a little time. We'll get there. But we do like the brand. I love the brand. We have Casey Harris who does all our art, and
our designs are cool. It's all his ideas. And then Casey brings them to life. Yeah,
Casey pulls them out of my head, kind of thing. Sometimes he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, But it's been fun, and then hanging out with Robbie. So we kind of like started talking about stuff. I'm like, man, I think I can do some shirts, like kind of thing. He's like, I think you should, kind of thing. So we just did it, like started out really small and just doing like PayPal stuff, and now we got she built our website. She builds websites on the side, kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So she did the one for Fall Revival and stuff like that too, and our C10 City one, obviously. But yeah, it's good. We're starting to I'm sending some stuff to Canada tomorrow. Like somebody up there buy some stuff. We send stuff all. We've sent just about everywhere. Almost most states so far we've hit. I think we have 3 or 4 that we haven't hit, kind of thing. It's kind of crazy to me, that it's out there like that.
Yeah. We've got stuff in Germany and New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
A lot of stuff in Canada. Most of our stuff's in Canada, which is cool.
It's good that you're getting big reach.
Yeah. Yeah. It's part of the stuff that she does with the marketing stuff, which is great, so that helps a lot. Being part of United by Trucks probably helps a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Robbie's got a huge following, and we hang out a lot.
You guys are going to have that merch at the show as well, right?
Absolutely. We got some new stuff. We got a couple new shirts coming for that, just the Squarebody stuff, and then we'll have 2 different of the show shirts, which they're going to be pretty cool. The one's going to be really super cool. One of them's our logo shirt that we do, which I love that stuff. But one Casey's working on right now, which is going to be a really good one. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it.
So tell folks where they can go and pre-register for the show. Give us the website.
C10sinthecity.com.
Yeah. Easy enough.
Yeah.
And if you also want to check out a website that Sarah designed, make sure you head on over to sqrbdy.com.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And if you need a website, visit smallsitesbysarah.com and explore what I have to offer.
We're getting everything packed into one here.
Yeah.
Sarah, you've got an Instagram as well.
I am C10s in the City.
Yeah.
C10s in the City on Instagram. You can also find them on Facebook. And if you want to follow Rick, it's SQRBDY_C10 on Instagram.
So, Dale, what's the license plate on the Dale Jr.?
Well, because we get to keep our personal plates when we sell our toys, I kept SQRBDY. That will be going on the Suburban. Well, I figured if I hadn't sold Dale the truck, then I was probably going to lean towards SQRBURB.
Yeah.
So that was where I was going with it. But I said, you know what? For now, I like the SQRBDY. Fits anyway. So.
Yeah. I do have one on my list as SQRBRB.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, John, any last comments you have?
Any secrets or tricks or tips for people that are coming in that may be their first time, or just kind of wing it because you guys are awesome?
Yeah, I mean, just definitely use the website for lodging. You know,
it is a big city.
It's a big city, and
we'll tell you where to stay.
Yeah, and the VRBO is mapped out to the spots that we know are great. You know, not outside that, you're kind of taking chances, I guess.
Guys, is there anything that we may have left out that we should have asked that we didn't, that you want to say before we close out this interview?
Don't come early. The gates open at 9.
Yeah.
You're just going to be mad.
Yeah. There is a spot across the street you can kind of hang out if they do that. But like sometimes people come early and they get upset, you know, but we have too much to do with a one-day show.
We get there at 6 a.m. and there's only a few of us setting up. So we appreciate people's patience. And C10 City Nights, the pre-party is so fun. 3 Taverns has been super welcoming, and I think it's going to be big this year.
Yeah.
Well, all goes well. We make it there on time. We'll be able to beat you there for the pre-party.
Yeah, man. I know you'll make it.
For sure. It's a small block Chevy. How can you not make it?
Right. And I did want to say, just like you guys have at AMD, I want a big thank you to Jason Chandler for everything he does for us. He's a marketing machine, you know, with AMD, and he helps us out a lot of stuff. And I always want to get his plug in there, man. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's done a lot for us. In fact, AMD is our title sponsor for the Get Out and Drive podcast. So we are fueled by AMD. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for being a part of the Get Out and Drive podcast, fueled by AMD.
Thanks for having us.
Cool. Thank you for having us.
Cruise on over to our website, getoutandrive.com, for all the info you never wanted to know about our podcast. Hit us up on our listener hotline, be the first to know what's happening, get industry news, and grab your Get Out and Drive merch. Connect with us on social media. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow us on X at Get Out and Drive Pod.
Get Out and Drive in 2025.